Welcome to the channel, I'm Sam the Ashen. I played a game recently called Corekeeper. It's on Steam for $15.99. It's got a little over 23,000 reviews and it sits at very positive for its rating, which is pretty solid. It's an indie game, it's in early access, it's listed as a mining, survival, exploration, farming simulator. Some pretty interesting tags, and I felt like it deserved a further look, so let's get into it. First, I like to compare the game in question to some other popular games to give people an idea of what they're getting into. In this case, I would compare it to a mix of Terraria and Stardew Valley. Now, I know it's not better than either of those games, but it does remind me of both of those games, and it seems like a neat little blend of the two. You get a little intro, and you wake up underground, and right from the start, you just start exploring. There is a story in the game, but it's really up to you if you want to pursue it or not. You could literally just wander around, build a little farm, collect animals, build houses for people to move into, and stop there. But the game does have a lot more to offer and has plenty of enemies that you'll need to get through in order to get some of the higher tier materials, which you will need for better gear and more money because some of the people that move into your houses are vendors and you'll probably want to buy some of their stuff. This is one of the parts that reminded me of Terraria, the fact that you can build houses and NPCs will move into them. There's also, of course, the mining and gathering of materials underground, which definitely also reminds me of Terraria. There's bosses that you'll need to take down in order to progress further and unlock new areas. You can collect some basic materials, make a garden hoe and till the dirt, plant some seeds, until you have your own little farm. You can go find animals, bring a rope with you in order to bring them back to your base. So being able to have a farm and have farm animals does remind me of Stardew Valley a lot. There are also eggs that you can find that hatch into helpful companions like a terrier dog that helps you fight, so that has definitely been my favorite companion so far. So far, I've only played the game in solo, and it has been a lot of fun. I didn't really feel like I was missing out on anything. I have, however, talked to people that played in co-op with as many as 6 people, and they said it was a blast. They said that solo wasn't really the same afterwards. I've also watched some videos on YouTube of groups of people playing the game, and I will admit, it seems like it really does make the whole experience a lot better. You can go in a little village instead of just a base, and the idea of dungeon crawling through the underground to build a self-sufficient town does sound pretty cool. So if you have the option, I would definitely recommend that you play with some friends or some other people because it will add to the experience. If you don't have this option or if you just prefer to play solo, the game is still a lot of fun and still does have a lot to offer. Finally, let's talk about the combat and the overall pace of the game. Combat seems super simple at first, and it kind of is, but there are ways that the game spices up the combat, like being able to get a dash ability, or being able to craft a shield and being able to do like a perfect block. There are a lot of things that you can do that makes you more successful in combat, which is important because a lot of the enemies are pretty tough, especially in the higher tier areas, which you'll want to go to for the materials. When I first started, I thought the game was pretty ridiculous because I kept getting one-shotted, but I really quickly realized that I was in an area that was meant for much later in the game. So far, they've done a really solid job on enemy variety. There's a lot of different designs and sprites for the enemies, and some have quick attack patterns, some have slow and heavy hits. One of my favorites is a little snow enemy that will taunt you, and when you get close, they'll do a quick strike. It's a little detail, but it really does go a long way to show that the devs put some real effort and creativity into this. This was my main complaint about Kepler, and something simple like this really would have gone a long way. Overall, the game is pretty well paced. There's a bunch of different areas to explore, the biomes are really different, and the enemies have a lot of variety. At the end of the day, the game is definitely not better than Terraria or Stardew Valley, but it does have a lot of charm, and it is a really solid game. It's an early access, so hopefully it will only get better. The price is only $15.99, which I think is fair for the amount of good content that you get. That's it for the video today. I am super close to 500 subs, so if you're feeling adventurous and you want to see more from me, subscribing to the channel would be awesome. Also, any likes and comments really do go a long way. Every person really does count.
I post once a week on Sundays, so I will never clog up your feed. I appreciate you watching. Have a good one. Peace out.